Me and Sam were going to a wedding in May, and like you were describing, I was like, we going to the same wedding? Hello, and welcome to Our 3 Cents. My name is Laura.
I'm Molly.
My name is Bailey.
And welcome back to your favorite podcast. Anybody got exciting news to share? Any updates? Anything fun going on in their life?
I'm almost done literally binging 7 seasons of Game of Thrones in about 3 weeks, so...
We are on the wire, people.
We are on the wire.
I've been told I would not like Game of Thrones. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
I want to get into it, but everybody's told me not to watch it because like, you're not going to like it. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I
you know how much I love to
try
listen
it.
to people.
Yeah, I think you could try it because it's like one of those shows that like there's a lot of people who watch it that I'm like, oh, you like this?
Uh-huh.
Like now that the season starts tonight, there's been so many people posting about it or like tweeting about so excited, been waiting for 2 years, and I was like, have you? Really?
Mhm.
You?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's like the hype at the last season that a lot of people started watching and it's just like a mob mentality of like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch this because everybody else, like I told
Mhm.
Sam when I left today that it's a cultural moment
Uh-huh.
that we should all watch together.
Yeah.
How long are the episodes?
Well, like the one that Bailey's on right now is 110 minutes. The one
No. An
hour and 10
An hour
minutes.
and 10 minutes.
And
70 minutes.
Yeah, and then the
next one is 81, but at the time it was like the record for the longest one. They're mostly just like a full hour, like no commercials.
But then they got longer and longer, and then this season that's coming up starting tonight, the last 2 episodes are full length like movie time.
They're all I don't
Yeah.
think any of them got up to a full like 90 minutes.
I thought one of them was 93.
But they are like an hour and 20. William and I were looking earlier. I don't think it was a full
That's so crazy.
90, but yeah. Because this season I'm watching now with the longer episodes is only 7 episodes. The next one's only going to be 6. So
yeah, it's kind of it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have the attention span for that.
82.
And you would need it with that show. That's like if you don't like a dense show.
It is dense.
There's a lot going on.
There's like so many people to keep up with, so many different stories. Like I'm reading the books right now,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going the same way that the show did. But I guess in the show, because it was visual, I could keep up better. But like in the book, every chapter is a character, so you're jumping between like storylines and what's happening because like things aren't happening at the same time. You're having to catch up to even be at the same like time frame that the last chapter was or 3 chapters before that because there's so many characters that I haven't even repeated yet, and I've been reading for about a week and a half. But it's also because I know what's going to happen. Yeah. I think that it might have already happened, and then I read the next chapter and I was like, oh, it hadn't happened yet. Right. Because I forget if I've read it or not.
Yeah, it's
a fantastic show. Super well made, super well produced, super well written. Time and effort was spent by all the producers and directors and cast and everything. It's a good show.
Yeah, but if you don't like to pay attention
or like aren't into like fantasy stuff, because Sam's roommate in college watched it as it was coming out, I think, or maybe he was rewatching. And while I would be over sometimes, and I would watch it and I'm like, this is stupid. Like, this is dumb.
Well, like, I've heard it's, like, similar to, like, Lord of the Rings, and...
Yeah.
And they're like, if you're not into that kind of stuff, then... But I've also never seen Lord of the Rings, so I don't know.
It's, like, it's dragons and some magic and, like, fantasy.
Fights,
like, kingdoms,
wars,
battles, lots of blood and gore.
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot of blood and gore. And sex.
And lots of sex. Different, like, peoples, like, races of people from different parts of the world. It's a lot. So, like, yeah, if you're not interested in, like... Because I know people who just don't do fantasy very well.
Yeah, like as a genre.
Yeah, like, don't care about the magic. Or, like, it loses its... Like, I can imagine it because this, and this are happening, and that's fine. But I got to this part, and I was just like, that's too unrealistic. I was like, really? The dragons? You got that far?
Yeah.
this part was got it.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
and there's also a lot of like triggering stuff in it, which has been a very hot button topic.
Yeah.
Because recently it's
She means a lot of rape.
Right, and like beatings and like
yeah.
Very intense, stiff. Mm-hmm. And it's been like a hot button topic recently because it was a lot of that stuff's not in the books, and so the directors and producers chose to make characters who are not rapists to enhance the show. And a lot of people are not happy.
Yeah.
So there's that
That's
too,
a lot.
in case you have a trigger, need a trigger warning. There that is, and there's other triggers too. That's just the main one.
If you
don't like people,
if you're a listener and you want to watch Game of Thrones and you think you may be triggered by something, that is something you should definitely look up.
Or like blood cutting into bodies.
The beginning of every episode is always at least like strong violence, strong language, and then sometimes there's like brief nudity, or sometimes it's strong sexual content.
So it's a whirlwind for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a show.
It's a show, I'll tell you.
And I can't, like, after tomorrow, I won't need to be, like, watching as much as I can in a day anymore. So I was like, what's my life going to be now?
Seems like you haven't.
Yeah, Laura, I have been watching these 7 seasons of television.
You know, you had
in 3 weeks.
You had 2
in 3
whole years.
Weeks.
What?
What are you saying?
It's not super important, but it's kind of important. I just learned that when I press the space bar, it stops my recording. So I was briefly stopped for
we were
5
just yelling
seconds.
at each other. So did you start recording again?
Why'd you press the space bar?
Okay. Yeah, why did you press the space bar?
Yeah, I did. I was looking at some crumbs that were starting to slide under my space bar, so I pressed the space bar to see if it's still like pressed. And I have like my Word document pulled up, so I was like looking on the screen for what I just like messed up, and then I looked over and saw that my thing had stopped recording. I was like,
gosh.
Don't do that again.
Please, please do not push any buttons while recording.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I've highlighted I've made my Word document active.
With the amount of like recording issues
buttons,
we've had of like, oh, just lost a whole recording because we tried to save, or like, oh, turns out I wasn't recording that whole time. Like, don't push anything.
We're professionals.
We're
professionals.
I think you're only professional if you make money doing it. That's why college football players can't be paid, because then they would be professional. So I think until we start making some money, we technically can't be professionals. Which means I
don't accept your logic.
Which means people should be lenient to us if we have recording troubles. Because we are not professionals. Yeah, so all I've been doing is working in Games of Thrones. What have y'all been doing?
I have had a busy weekend.
Have you?
Yes.
We haven't heard anything about it, so I don't...
So on Saturday morning, well, actually on Thursday, this girl on my spring league team messaged me and was like, hey, are you coming to Frisbee this weekend? I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And she's like, okay, great. It's just going to be you and me. So we're playing like Savage. And I'm like, fuck.
That's not Frisbee. Oh, wait. Just you and her and other people from a different team?
Yeah. Okay. We were the only girls that were going to be there. It was going to be, guys were going to be there, but we're going to be the only girls. And like the way you always have to have, I think 2 girls on the field at all times, 2 or 3, and so since there's only 2 of us, we had to play the whole time. Yes, and you already know how easy it is for me to convince myself not to go to Frisbee, and
we surely do.
With this looming over my head, I was like, oh, I really, really, really don't want to go. Like, I'm not in shape. I'm gonna die. But I was like, I can't just leave this other girl hanging, because then, like, they're really out of luck, because, like, literally no other girls could go. And, like, we hadn't, and she asked me, she's like, do you want to see if, like, we can get another girl, or, like, do you just want to suffer through? Like, I did it last weekend, and it wasn't that bad. I was like, you're in way better shape than I am. But I was like, yeah, I need the exercise, so let's just do it. And so
Good attitude.
I went, and I played the whole time. I didn't die, but I kept a very steady jog. Like, I didn't put too much energy into it, and this caused an older lady to try to explain to me how to play Frisbee. Because I wasn't really trying. And she was like, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut in, run deep, and then cut back in really hard. And I'm like, yeah, there's only 2 of us here, so I'm not trying to really exert myself. And she didn't say anything after that, but I was like, bitch, don't tell me how to play Frisbee, okay?
I've got this. I've been doing it for a little while. I went to the Combine. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know if you know what a Combine is, but I've been to one.
I was kind of annoyed because I was like, I know how to play Frisbee. I'm just not trying to play it hard because I'm not in shape. Thank you very much. But yeah, it wasn't super bad. And then after that, I went shopping for some work clothes and an Easter outfit, which apparently is not a thing. Like, I was Snapchatting one of my friends, and I was like asking her opinion on my outfit. I was like, should I get some earrings? And she's like, I guess if you want to. She was like, get like navy blue tassel earrings or whatever. And she's like, I don't understand why you have to buy an outfit for every event, which I do. But I was like, it's Easter. Yeah. Like, do you not buy Easter outfits?
That's like the main thing I miss about going to church.
Yeah.
I could buy an outfit for Easter.
But she was like...
There's like 3 good church holiday things where I get to buy an outfit and look cute and care about what I look like going to church. And it's Easter and Christmas, and there's probably one more that I don't remember.
See, I hate shopping, and I don't like wearing dresses very often, so I didn't enjoy having to buy an Easter dress every year, but it was definitely a thing.
Right, that's what I thought.
There's a thing.
She's like, well, I didn't have an income and my parents were poor, so I guess I didn't have that experience. I'm like, my parents were poor too. My grandmother was buying my dresses for me. And I was telling my mom this, and she's like, yeah, if we were in charge of Easter dresses, we would have been at Target.
Hey.
I mean, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a bad one at all. But yeah, she just thinks she always gets on to me for buying dresses for every occasion. And what was his name? Javid did the exact same thing. He was like, why do you need an outfit for every event?
I don't know. I do think it's fair. If she says you have to buy a dress for every event, and your response is, yeah, I do. Like, I can see where she's coming from a little bit.
But it's Easter.
But still,
don't
she should still
Easter.
know. Yeah, don't make this Easter's problem. Easter did nothing wrong to you.
I got Reese's eggs, and I forgot my house was going to bring you one. I'm sorry.
Aw, that's okay.
But yeah, I definitely thought Easter was a different occasion. But it did get me rethinking, because I have a wedding in May that I was planning an outfit for. Dress. I was thinking like, oh, I should get another dress, but now that she's like said something about it, I'm like, she's right. Like, I don't need to spend this money all the time. And
just
I have
this Easter dress.
Whose wedding in May are you going to?
One of my best friends from when I was little. I'm like slightly offended that she didn't make me her bridesmaid, because she made our other friend a bridesmaid, and I was like, I've been like evaluating my friendship with people lately, because I feel like she's a very conservative person, and she's always...
Wait, now I'm thrown for a loop.
She always got, like, offended whenever we kept things from her, because, like, we didn't want her to, like, judge us, and so I was always super open and honest with her. Like, I would tell her things that, like, about my life and stuff, and, like, what was going on, and my other friend wouldn't. Like, she would continue to just, like, pretend to be, like, this, like, good, not that she's a bad person, but like a more conservative person like our friend was, and she made her bridesmaid, and I'm like, this girl keeps things from you, and I am very open and honest with you and tell you everything. But then I was like, maybe like, even though she necessarily like wanted to be included, maybe just like the more she knew about me, the more she was like, you're not like who I became friends with when we were little. Like, she might like appreciate my honesty, but she also might like not want to associate with me anymore because of my behaviors, which aren't bad, but you know, but
maybe she's just closer to some people, like right at this very specific moment.
No, and I see that, and I see that too. But it was just the fact that she picked our other friend who like doesn't tell her anything, and kind of puts on this facade, whatever that word is.
Facade, but good try.
My French just jumped out.
Yeah.
My Madame Dunlap just like.
But mate, you said that she doesn't tell that friend anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she doesn't know that friend doesn't tell her anything.
Oh no, I've told her a few things about that friend, so.
Well, okay.
But
I'm trying to help her out, but it apparently is not.
I'm trying not to like get offended by it, because again, like people do get older, you grow up, you like fade away, and like we aren't super close anymore, so I get it. And I guess I wasn't aware of how close her and our other friend was. But I'm trying not to be salty about it. But I can't wear my Easter dress to her wedding because it's got a lot of white in it. And
oh, I liked your tweet about that.
Right? I understand people's need, or no, people's urge to want to wear white because, like, it's springtime, it's summer, like, you think white. But, like, it's so rude to wear that to somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
That's, like, one of the cardinal rules that's, like...
Yeah! So I think I'm going to wear this like hot pink dress that I wear occasionally. And it's a little on the scandalous side, which would give those Baptists a show. So I'm excited about it.
Okay, friends, so we literally just had to stop recording because my computer just quit. So see, we are in a very precarious position.
Environment.
I was going to say precarious position always, but yes, that too.
So after I got done shopping, well, first, whenever I bought my Easter dress, I was deciding on my Easter dress, my mom ended up calling me because I texted her earlier asking her if she was awake and she thought something was wrong, so she immediately called me whenever she woke up, but really I just wanted to talk to her while I was driving, and so I was like...
Or your mother.
I was like, oh, good, now that I have you, I'm about to put you on FaceTime, you tell me what you think of this outfit, and I was like, are you near Dad? And she was like, yeah, I can get him, and so, because my mother... She, for some reason, likes whenever I put on slutty outfits. My dad will call me out. He'll let me out of the house, but he will call me a slut. And so I was like, let me get Bob's opinion. And he was like, no, I think it's fine. He's like, it seems appropriate. Why are you asking? I was like, I was just worried it was, like, too short. And I didn't want to, like, walk into church like that. And he was like, well, that doesn't stop anybody else, so...
Bob go off.
So yeah, that was funny. But yeah, so I bought my little Easter outfit and stuff, and then I had to work a Frisbee tournament last night. And
you had to work one?
Well, I was working like the concession stand. And
it's not your job anymore.
And people are very rude.
Yes.
They...
Period. End of story.
It's wild. For a concession stand, how annoyed people can get. Like, this guy, like, we had these nachos, and, like, the dude who was, like, running the whole thing, like, was just not very, like, descriptive on what he wanted me to do for, like, serving things. Like, we had plates and bowls, and we had nachos, and I was like, I feel like...
did you have a nacho container?
No, we didn't. So I was, like, trying to figure out where to put the nachos, because they were $8, and that's pretty expensive. And so you should get a pretty big...
Do you dip them in gold?
Yeah, you should get a pretty big
is that what the cheese is?
Of nachos. And so
yes, definitely.
I grabbed a bowl and started just like piling chips in there, and the bowl wasn't very big. And this guy was like watching me, and he was like, that's the $8 nachos, like very rudely. And I was like, I'm trying to find what container to put them in. This is the best I could find. And the guy who was like working it with me was like, I'll go find the guy and ask him. And the other dude who was ordering that was like, I'll just come back later. And I mean, he did come back later, but he was like, do y'all have jalapenos? And I was like, we have jalapenos in the cheese dip. And he's like, but not like separately. I was like, no. Like,
no, bitch, we don't.
Yeah,
Take your $8 nachos and
this is not a fine dining restaurant. This is a freaking concession stand at a Frisbee game. Like, who do you think you are? And then, like, by the end of the night, we were running out of things because we put everything on half off. So, like, everybody was coming up and buying stuff. And this lady came up, and we had just given, like, a little girl a plate of nachos. And the lady came up and ordered nachos as well. And I feel like she got the idea that we had let the little girl go in front of her, but she had been there the whole time trying to decide. And so whenever like a customer left, this girl was like in my eyesight, and I was like, "Are you ready?" And she was like, "Yeah, I've made my decision." And so I think the lady thought that I was like letting her cut, but like she had been there the whole time.
But also she's a little girl.
Yeah, who she apparently knew, because this is what happened. So the little girl asked for a plate of nachos, so we made her one, and then the lady asked for nachos.
As one does.
Right. And my coworker was like, "Oh, we're almost out of nachos. Like, I can give you like this little handful of chips and stuff, but that's all we have left." And she was like, "That's not enough." And
how about for $2?
And was just like getting like super offended that we didn't have enough. And the little girl was like, "Oh, you can have mine," and like awkwardly was like, because you could tell the woman was getting upset. And I was like, "Lady, it is almost the end of the game, and you're just now coming up and asking for food. Like, what do you expect?"
Did she take the little girl's nachos?
No, but
good.
She like called her by her name and was like, "No, like it's fine. You keep the nachos." And she's like, "No, I mean, you can take them," because like the girl was like, obviously like, "You're upset about this, here, take the nachos."
Yeah. Even a child notices your drama.
Exactly. And the lady was like, no, it's fine, I just won't have anything," and like left.
Oh my god,
that's the worst response to anything.
It was so annoying. And so this guy came up like a few minutes later. Him and his friend had just bought nachos previously, and I gave them a genius idea because I had gotten hungry and I'd made some nachos, and I like used a little bowl because I was like, I don't want to use a plate. And so
how did you have nachos for you but not for the lady?
I think when we had run out, we were almost out of they were chicken and cheese nachos, and we were almost out of the chicken, so we had enough chips but not a lot of chicken, and I had done this earlier. So
now wait a minute, these nachos did have chicken but not jalapenos. Like, we need to go back to the fancy. The standards.
And so I like grabbed a little bowl and like filled it with cheese and chicken and chips, and some of the chicken and cheese had like gone to the bottom of the bowl, and so I just started like dipping chips in there, and I was like, this is a genius way to eat this, because like the chicken was kind of clumped together, so it was really hard to like get, you know, a good amount on each chip. And so these two guys came up and they're like, "We want to split some nachos," and I was like, "All right, I just got an innovation. I can I can get you a bowl and fill it with cheese and chicken, and then give you a plate of chips to dip it in." They're like, "That is exactly what we want." I'm like, "Great." And so,
because that's what
good, because I just literally explained it all to you.
Yeah,
and that is what you have.
And so they were like totally down for it. And so after that dramatic lady left, one of the guys came back and he's like, "Can we get another nacho?" And I'm like, "Are you cool with like what I did for y'all earlier?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." I was like, "All right, we don't have that much left. Is it okay?"
Okay, good, because we don't have that.
Yeah, I was like, "Is it okay if I just give you like a little bit of everything?" And he was like, "I will take whatever you can give me." And I'm like, "Thank you for being nice about it."
Thank you.
And then the guy from earlier at the very beginning came back later for food, and I can't remember what he said to me, but like he just was so dramatic and like had an attitude, and I was like, I like saw his ID whenever he was pulling money out. He's from Wisconsin. I was like, this does not surprise me. Northerners are very rude. And so I was just very annoyed, but like it's just wild how rude people were at a Frisbee concession stand. Like, so I can't. I can't imagine.
The service industry is always
I was about
terrible.
to say, I can't imagine what people like in the actual service industry have to go through.
It's not fun.
Where
when I was in the service industry.
Where were you? What were you at? Like a local school?
Yeah, I was at a high school.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just ridiculous. I got $11 in tips though, which was nice.
Nice.
This couple.
How long were you there though?
From like I think the game started at like 6:30 and was over by like 8:30, 9ish.
Okay.
This couple gave us a $5 tip. I feel because they thought that they were like disrupting me, because like I was like trying to check them out and they kept adding things to their order, and they're like, "We're so sorry." I'm like, "No, it's fine." And like they kept adding things, like, "We're so sorry." I'm like, "Don't worry about it." And so they gave me a $5 tip. It's annoying that kids don't know how to tip, because like I was super cool with the children, And I was like, you're not going to tip me, but that's fine.
I mean,
I've been nice to you.
Yeah, exactly.
To go back to our tipping episode, I wouldn't have tipped you. I never would have, like,
thought
to like, that thought wouldn't have crossed my mind, like, oh, concession stand, you can tip these people here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That thought
I might enjoy that.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing. Like, the guy gave us a tip jar and was like, you can use this if you want and just split it up however you want. And so I
guess if I saw something out, I might think about it.
Yeah.
But if no one said anything, I would definitely not realize.
Well, it was me and this other guy working it, and so there was 6 ones and one $5 bill. So it was like impossible to split. And I was like, do you want $5 or $6? I was like, I will not be offended by whichever amount you choose. And he was like,
but I did come up with that nacho. So
he's like,
which of us really earned
the extra dollar?
He was like, you take, he was like, you take the 6. Like, I feel like you've worked way harder than I have. I was like, no.
Innovating and all.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have any nacho innovations?
But yeah, so I did that, and then I had to dog sit today, which was nice because it was storming all day long. So like I basically just like laid on the couch with the dogs, which was nice.
What kind of dogs were they? Like big dogs, little dogs?
They were little dogs. They're like mutts.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So wait, hang on. How did you make $11 from the tipping?
Yeah.
But you said
at the concession stand.
Yeah, but you said you brought the 6 and the guy got the 5.
Yeah.
That's 11, baby.
Oh no, I thought she was saying she herself made $11.
Oh,
like,
no.
I thought your take-home pay was $11.
No, my take-home pay was $40, which was nice. But
oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't know if that was a get paid thing or something you had to do as like part of the team. So
no. I was just being nice.
Well, good. You were rewarded, it sounds like. And innovative.
Yeah.
So really,
good for you.
You made the most of that session.
And then today I tweeted, I took this BuzzFeed quiz this morning, and it was like, make a emo playlist, and we'll tell you which, like, Panic at the Disco album you are. And I was like, okay. And
send me that.
I was going to say, send us that quiz, like, right now.
I'll see if I can find it. And then, and, like, all the songs on there, like, I loved. And so I was like, I need to listen to this. And I have an alternative playlist on my Spotify that's, like, with all of my favorite, like, pop punk bands. And so I've been jamming to that today. And Vegas by All Time Low came on my shuffle. And I was like, this is just such a good song. And so I tweeted it. I, like, took a screenshot, tweeted it, and I was, like, feeling emo today. And pressed tweet. And whenever I got home...
tweet. Thank you for telling us how to tweet.
Of course, I checked Twitter and my brother responded, "Feeling Elmo, huh?" And I had tweeted "Feeling Elmo," and so I had to delete it and tweet it again. But
I will say that wasn't a very funny way to get you. He should have like responded with like an Elmo gif or something.
Yeah, he should have.
Like just repeating your mistake back to you. You gotta up the game.
That's true.
So going back to how rude people were, would you say that they were too sensitive to the situation?
I think I was being too. Was I being too sensitive? Maybe.
I'm just trying to get us to.
I don't think it's a good. Laura, I appreciate a good transition. I don't buy it.
I'm just trying to get us to our topic. It's been 30 minutes about.
I told y'all.
A concession stand.
I think that they were too entitled, which I think I might bring up.
They were entitled.
In what you're trying to talk. Just Laura, just say it. They know we're trying to get there.
So Molly saw something on a social media like she always does, and it is whether or not society is too sensitive. She has a
we have a specific instance.
Yeah, an example. Molly, do you want me to read it? Because I pulled it up on my Instagram.
Oh, yeah, you can read it.
So, Jessica Simpson is a new mother. I don't know if it's for the first time or not. I don't follow Jessica Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
But, and she posted a photo of...
Picture on Instagram.
Right. Mm-hmm. Of a baby bottle, and it's 5 ounces, over 5 ounces of milk, and said...
Which is full for this baby bottle.
It's full. Yeah, it's a full baby bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And her caption reads, "This is what success feels like," with a cow emoji.
With a cow emoji.
Meaning that like I'm to believe that it was a breast milk.
Right. Like, I had to breast pump. I got this whole bottle out of it. Like, woohoo, motherhood won.
In the comments, as I'm, like, scrolling, it's either very positive or people saying, like, to all the people who felt compelled to post a negative comment, you have just highlighted how self-centered society has come to be. This photo is not about you, nor was it intended to shame you for your troubles you may have faced. What happened to celebrating women for their accomplishments? You obviously understand that this is a difficult feat to overcome, so you should be building those up who have encountered this wonderful success instead of tearing them down. And so then I scroll some more and I find,
well, here, I pulled up this BuzzFeed article and about it, and they pulled out, some quotes. Some people who were acknowledging the fact that it's hard, but in, like, a positive way, like, this is the only thing I've legit ever seen on social media that's made me jealous, what I wouldn't have given for such a successful pump. Which I guess could be taken negatively, but that's not how I read it. Like a jokey, like, wow, you go girl. Or this person who says, you go girl, impressive for so early on. I am 8 months in and I never pumped that much. I'm a little jealous that you can pump that much so soon, but great for you. That's such an awesome accomplishment. And then other people are very, like, what a great way to make others who can't feel like failures. Think before you post. That's
what made me so mad. I was like, she shouldn't have to. Like, she's not offending anybody.
Yeah. So, like, essentially, people are mad because Jessica Simpson posted a picture that shows that she was able to do something that some other people are not, and people in the comments are mad that she had the audacity to post something that they themselves could not do, in turn making them feel bad about themselves and their lack of ability to do said thing.
Right. Yes.
And we see this come up in other situations where
and this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, because, like, earlier before we started recording, we had briefly talked about this and, like, how we were going to discuss this, and y'all had said that most people who are, like, too sensitive are the ones who are getting mad because they can't say the N-word, and that is not what I'm saying. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like, people can't post about, like, their own accomplishments or just, like, normal daily lives without people getting offended. And it's so that's my big thing.
I think more. I think now that we've talked about, the Nacho line people, I think almost entitled is a bit and I think it is because I have this, like, notion already that usually when people talk about society being too sensitive, it's
a bad thing towards people like us.
It's millennials are too sensitive, or,
your
liberals are too
sensitive. Yeah.
Stuff like this is just
snowflakes.
Yeah.
Sensitive snowflakes. That's where the term.
This is just, I think...
I liked your word entitled.
I think people are, like, entitled to what other people, and especially celebrities, post.
Like, people... normal people. Like me, your
average Joe.
We post... I could have posted that on Facebook or Instagram, and I bet... And I have, like, over 1,500 friends on Facebook, so let's go there first.
Brag much?
Yeah, for real.
I friend everyone that I meet.
I know.
I was that person in middle school and high school. If I talked 1 millisecond to you, I was like, where are they on Facebook?
See, I went back and unfriended all of those people. I was like, if I don't know you, I'm unfriending you.
It's too much of a ordeal.
Laura has too many people now.
Like, just imagining going through and doing that is just a daunting task that I don't care about.
Do you remember when one of our high school teachers said that if you want to unfriend somebody, you do it on their birthday, because you get the notification that's their birthday, and you say,
I don't care.
Do I talk to you? And so you unfriend them.
Very smart.
Well, and we're like, that's so cold, but smart.
I haven't done that. Also, I just kind of like to keep up with people that
Snoop.
I don't care about. Like, sometimes they'll cross my feed and I'm like, oh, you're still a dumpster fire. Good to know. Glad you haven't.
You gotta balance out, like, the perfect vacation photos and the
right. Anyways, so say I posted, like, I had a kid, I had a really hard time breastfeeding, and then I finally was able to, and I posted on Facebook. I bet 90% of it would be, congratulations, oh my god, so happy for you, good for you, and then like one person being like, you should not post this is too much information, I don't care.
Yeah, like, I don't care, breastfeeding,
not,
this is dumb, blah blah blah.
Yeah, not about like how somebody's jealous, because I don't have that reach. Celebrities, and what people don't get about celebrities, or what don't seem to like,
they're just like us.
Yeah, they have the same.
They don't think
problems.
of celebrities as people. I think is where I was heading.
Yeah, and Jessica Simpson has the same problem as every other mother who comes out of pregnancy, has a baby, has like postpartum feelings, has difficulties getting back into the swing of things. A lot of body stuff is going on that people don't realize who haven't had a child. Yeah, or they think that somehow Jessica Simpson is immune to these, and every celebrity's immune to all these problems.
Well, yeah, like if like a celebrity comes out saying that like they have like postpartum depression, they're like, oh my gosh, so do I. I'm like, yeah, because they're human, just like you.
It's crazy. It's like, oh, they're not a wild animal who's perfect, and this was an actual child who was birthed, and that there is no amount of money that can make that situation perfect and picture perfect. So when she posts something, or any celebrity posts something that's just a little bit underprivileged, or like a little bit into the actual life side of their life, and into like, oh, I have these problems, I've posted picture perfect bikini photos and everything, and in the middle of it I'm gonna post something real. It's like the audacity for you, who has all the privilege in the world, to post something like you're
a real person. Because people get offended whenever people post their fake lives, like when they're like, when it's all like pose, promote, ad stuff, they're just like, why can't you be a real person?
I guess when like Jessica Simpson posted something that showed her flaws, or showed her problems, and people were like, yeah, but you have these problems, but you also have like, all you can do all day is like, you have a lactation nurse that comes in every hour, and you have all these people that are coming in, and how dare you talk about your problems when I had to do it all on my own. It's like, that's good, that's great for you, proud of you, Susan. Jessica's also going through something. It's not, yes, her status in life gives her privileges that you will never have, and we are sorry for that, but that is not her fault right now. Like, because leave the girl alone, let her post her bottle, let her be proud, let the world be proud of her. Why don't we come together as a society and support people for doing anything?
I definitely think that celebrities often can say and do like minorly offensive to very offensive things on like social media, but this is, I'm excited I filled up this bottle with breast milk, and people being like, wow, some people can't do that. Like, just because you happen to encounter this post doesn't mean that Jessica Simpson has any obligation. If she had said something like
screw everybody who can't, you're not real mothers,
or I was gonna say like, breastfeeding's the only way to go, haha.
Or like suggested that like your baby's unhealthy if they have,
if you're not breastfeeding, because that is,
or like you're not being a good mother if you can't breastfeed. You're not trying hard enough.
Because that is
what the bitch said.
That is actually like a problem, and like debate that happens is that women get shamed if they
can't
feed their children with formula, whether they choose to or whether they can, like you said. So if she had said something like promoting that this only one idea was like the right way, the perfect way, the ideal way, I could see people getting like more upset, being like, no, Jessica, we, there are these other ways like this. But she like literally didn't. Just because someone is proud of something doesn't mean that, because that reminds you of something you're not proud of, that she has like somehow offended you personally.
And there was over 9,000 comments, and a lot of the ones that I was scrolling through, and I don't know if they were just downvoted, or I don't even know if you can do that or not, liked, or
you can like report and maybe they disappear.
But like a lot of the ones that I was seeing were positive or were in response to negative comments. So that's great, but it's just like showing, out of the 9,000 comments I read, like less than 100, so many people were so positive about it. This problem is not just to a small number of new moms. This is a very large problem over many a woman who has a child. So like Jessica posting that, one, shows she's real, but also opens the door for a conversation about this within her comment section that could help a mother, because going back in her Instagram or back in her social media, you see that Jessica has had a problem with this in the past and has not been fortunate enough to pump a lot. And now that she's posting it and starting a conversation, being like, maybe it's not too late for you. Maybe you can pump like I did. Like,
well, like, you have to think that, like, you wouldn't say that to somebody you're actually friends with on, like, Instagram or Facebook.
You say it behind their back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you would never actually comment that because you wouldn't think they would see it, probably. Like, you.
But when you can hide in the comments, under 9,000 comments, no one cares.
Well, here, let me get this term out for you, because I think Pink has just hit the nail on the head. Right. So also before we were recording, we were talking about how Pink a few weeks ago had to take down this picture of her baby because she had accidentally posted it and he didn't have any, like, pants on. And I don't know if you could see anything or if it was just like people could tell he wasn't wearing a diaper anymore, and she was like, sorry, I'm a busy mom and didn't notice he'd taken his swim diaper off for 5 minutes. But in her like response, she said, I deleted it because you're all effing disgusting, and now I'm turning off my comments and shaking my heads at the state of social media and keyboard warriors. That's what it is.
That is nice.
Keyboard
warriors. Yeah, because again, nice. Like, if, like, somebody on your Facebook feed had posted something like that, you wouldn't have said anything. Like, you might have still been equally grossed out, but you just would have kept the comment to yourself. Like, because, I don't want to see somebody's naked baby, but, like, if they want to post that, by all means.
Or, like, again, you just be like, oh, yeah, mom with kids, naked baby, like, she literally probably didn't notice. Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, keyboard warriors.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the topic of is, like, society too sensitive isn't exactly what we meant, but, like, is society too entitled to think of people in the boxes that we personally put people in. So, like,
are people too numbed by social media? Yeah,
that, like, they're not afraid to comment things that they would never in their right minds comment or say to somebody's face.
Yeah.
And, like, just being able to hide behind the rest of the comments. But even, like, for people like us, there are keyboard warriors. Like, when I used to share political things on Facebook, there was one specific person who would comment on all of them. And, like, I can probably count the amount of times that I've talked to him. And he would always comment on my stuff when, like, we were not friends in school. We did not hang out with the same people. We would never have crossed paths unless we were in, like, class together.
Yeah.
I do not like this person. And I really didn't have, like, that big of a problem with him until it got to whatever year that was that I thought that it was a good idea to post things on Facebook and I wasn't going to get any retaliation. And he would comment on all of them. I was like, you would never have talked to me in class.
Yeah.
You would never have, if I had posted this or if I had said this, you would never have, like, jumped back. But because I'm never going to see you.
Yeah.
I don't care about you.
And because it's the 2016 election.
You think that it's okay to come and attack me on my status when I don't know the last time I said 3 words to you. But this is okay because we're Facebook friends and I've made it public.
It's, like, kind of like how people, a lot of time people will just share their, what's it called when you have, like, an opposite opinion of someone? Like an opposite opinion. When you have an opposite opinion, no matter how you approach it, people will often say, like, okay, you don't have to post that, like, no one asked, and people will be like, oh, well, you know, I have the right to free speech, you know, this is a public space, it's out for everybody to see, but, like, that doesn't mean you have to share your opinion just because you can in any moment.
Well, it's like, I see a lot of different things, still, to this day, a lot of different things that I know are either wrong, unbiased, unopinionated. Those things are wrong. You are sharing a article that you have not read. You read the headline. You got enraged. You shared it. And, like, I've even seen, there's one person in particular that I know shares parody posts, does not know they are sharing parody posts.
Oh, no. Like they're sharing Onion headlines and they think they're real?
Not even Onion. It's like, why all dogs are bad. And then you open it and it's like, they're not.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like those things, but, like, with real issues. But you open the article and it's like one word, or like why Trump is the best president, and it's like, he's not. Like, you open it, and...
Was the Civil War about slavery? Yes.
Yeah, and it's, like, stuff like that, and it's like, you didn't even open this article.
Mm-hmm.
You just shared it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's so stupid. Mm-hmm. I would never comment on their stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I am not going to change my beliefs because some random guy from high school got mad under my comments.
Yeah.
He had nothing to gain from commenting under my post. I'm not a family member. I'm not a friend where he could have had a, like, civil debate with. I did not debate him. I did not engage with him.
I think I did one time.
You did. He learned nothing, and he gained nothing from our communication, and... I'll give him one. If he was that outraged by whatever I posted, I'll give him one. The third and fourth time that he did it, and it was like, honey, really, what are you trying to do?
Oh, but I bet bizarre. He felt really good.
Like, you're not, like, I'm not engaging. I'm not deleting your post. You can look stupid. Like, that's fine, but, like... Yeah. What, like, in that moment, what do you think your opinion has done? Free speech? Fine. Right. But, like, literally not necessary.
Why do we gain so much
if you
from
knew
sharing
me,
our opinions?
If you could tell me the last time we spoke, there are people on Facebook that I will discuss things with. Yeah. That we have opposite, like, positions. Because I know them, and I know that, like, we're discussing things.
They're coming at it in good faith. Like, they actually want to hear your opinion.
Yes, we each want to hear each other's opinions. I could care less about what his opinion is. Yeah. And it's just like those people, those type of keyboard warriors that it's just like...
Thank you, Pink.
Who are you? Literally, who are you? And why are you in my DMs? Like, get out. No one needs
Slide out.
Slide right back out. Ugh. But people are just so tragic. And I think that type of... If that's a sensitivity... Or like we were saying... Entitlement of some sort that social media has... given people, as I think we can all agree that social media has given people a window into everybody's life to where we now feel like in the same coin that Jessica Simpson is not real and has a perfect life and she has photographers that can make her life look great. I'm also her friend, and we're close enough to where I can comment on her stuff like I would Mary Jo down the street, and I can call her out for her bullshit because we know each other, and I follow her on Instagram, so I know.
So we're close friends.
Her second cousin because she posted him, and I follow him too now, so we're all friends, and it's like, okay, no, no, you're just making an ass of yourself, and Jessica Simpson's never gonna look twice at you because you got mad under her post. Yeah.
What's that thing people say, like, she's not gonna sleep with you, Jeff? Like, I don't know what the name is that people use, but they'll be like, someone like Ben Shapiro who is like, oh, AOC, debate me, and people will just be like, she's not gonna sleep with you.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like, you can share your opinion with someone all you want to. That doesn't mean they have to give you any kind of time of day at all, and it doesn't mean that people don't have the right to call you out, like, this is stupid. Why did you even try to add, like, why do we need to know this?
It's just like, what does it help? Like,
well, not just that, but it's not fair to make that person feel bad. Because, I mean, like, I know, like, Chrissy Teigen reads all of her stuff. Like, I think, like, I think her husband has to, like, try to make her, like, take her phone away because she'll read all the comments.
There's probably a lot of celebrities that do that. They probably get super stressed about it.
Right, and so, like, I can't imagine, like, you know, Jessica Simpson, like, celebrating this moment and, like, watching all these, like, little Instagram trolls.
Post-pregnancy.
Tear her down and try to make her feel bad for celebrating it. And, like, I'm sure you have to build, like, a really thick skin and, like, confidence to, like, be able to deal with all of that stuff. So I hope that, you know, she kept her spirits up. But, like, geez, like, it's not fair. Like, you wouldn't want somebody tearing you down when you had an amazing, like, mom moment or whatever. It's so dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like Bailey said earlier, there are things that celebrities do that are, like, you knew when you posted it that it was... if not wrong, on the border. Yeah. And then when you were called out for it, you were like, yeah, that was a mistake. I'm so sorry. I won't ever do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are things you...
I said, oh, yeah, no, for sure there are people that do that. And normally they're younger people, like, they're not, like, adults.
Yeah, but then there's things that you put... And, like, I'm saying every celebrity posts stupid stuff. Like, Chrissy Teigen does it. All of these, like, great activist people do it. That you get, like, too into it, and you post it, and then you're like... shit, that was a bad idea.
Well, it's like Kendall Jenner posted, like, that she's doing a thing with Proactive, and she was like, I've had bad skin my whole life, da, 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 and everybody was like, boo fucking who.
I was like, really, you're a model right now and you're gonna sell me some pimple medicine?
Yeah.
So there's like that stuff, but then there's also what Jessica Simpson did. And I'm not forgiving or excusing anything they do, but like, so you post things and you're like, that was a bad thing. I'm sorry. Or you posted it knowing that it was on the edge, and you're like, then you have to come back and apologize, like you didn't know from the start that it was a stupid thing to post, like Kendall Jenner, what you just said. But then there's innocent posts, like Jessica Simpson posted, that she thought no one in their right mind is going to be upset about.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this. All moms can be proud of this. Blah, blah, blah. And then she gets hate for it. And it's like, honest to God, what can you post as somebody in the spotlight without getting flack from somebody about being elitist or being privileged or
which
being
probably wasn't even
whatever.
thinking that. Like, she probably wasn't thinking anything about, like, the comments
That's what I'm
would
saying.
get. She was probably just like,
thoughts.
oh, I have to share my life. Because, like, that's, like, what social media is
this
for.
is my Instagram.
Right,
exactly.
Today. Like, we're so
People want to know what happened.
We're so used to just posting whenever we want with, like, no repercussions or, like, feedback from strangers, whereas, like, celebrities, like, they have a harder time posting what they want because somebody's gonna have something to say about it.
Yeah. I think if you comment, like, really negatively on celebrities' posts, that you should have to have, like, the same, like, field of people, like, coming back at you. Like,
my favorite thing about recently, and I think I've seen it only in the past couple months, is that people will post under a celebrity's post, some, like, if they posted something and somebody's had a problem with it, so they'll lash back, and it's very keyboard warrior of them, and then somebody will go through their tweets and pull out a screenshot from something they've tweeted, and it's like, oh really, John? Really? And then they'll post it and it's like, whoa, boo, 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 and it's like, no, sit the fuck down. And they'll do stuff like that to a bunch of people, and I love it so much. Because it's like, yeah, like, you're holding these people who tweet technically for a living. Like, even non-social media influencers have to keep up their social media. Like,
let's see what your Twitter looks like when someone actually pays attention to it.
Like, oh, you can find all of these tweets, not forgiving, not saying anything, but you can scrounge up tweets and support hating people because of things they tweeted in 2003. All right, Jeff, let's go back through. Let's read your tweets, because we can do a search, and we do a search, and oh, look there! You did the same fucking shit. Not forgiving or anything, but, like, you people who come to the attack of, like, innocent things like Jessica Simpson, it's like, okay, but but you're kind of racist, so what do you
like,
have
if
to
you
say?
had a million people looking at your tweets, here's what we'd say.
Yeah, if you had people searching every known derogatory term or just bad thing to tweet, yes, bad things are going to come up.
Yeah.
Because we were all dumb when Twitter first came out. And we thought nobody... Do you remember when Twitter, like, said that... I don't know when it happened, but, like, the archives of Twitter are all stored in one central location. So, like, you can download your whole...
Yeah, you can, like, email and request to have your...
Yeah, and it's like when people found out that other people could do it for your tweets. And it was like...
I know.
What do you mean they can do that? Good times.
Yeah.
That was fun. Thank you, Molly.
Of course.
Molly's on a roll with...
Molly is on a roll with coming up with ideas.
And I think next week is another Molly thing.
Probably. Going with, like, 3 ideas.
Well,
yeah, take us out.
Any closing arguments or closing stuffs?
Nope.
Well, think approximately 5 seconds before you send a tweet. Other than that, no.
Literally.
No.
You know, why don't you write it down like old times? Or write it down in your notes.
Walk away, and then when you come back...
say it out loud.
Yeah.
To yourself. Maybe text it to a friend if you're, like, on the edge. And then, you know, make it a draft.
Or, like, think, like, would you want somebody saying that to you? Because most people who tweet that stuff don't. They get very offended when you try to, like, come back at them. Like, they're like, how rude. I'm sure.
Goodness. People don't know. But anyway, no, that's it.
Well, all right.
Just in time.
Thank you to everybody.
Isn't Game of Thrones about to go on?
Yep.
Yeah. I still have an episode and a half left to watch.
I'm so mad.
So,
thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you to
Us for being here. You're welcome.
Us for being here. You're welcome.
I was talking to you, but yeah, them too.
Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for our intro music. Find us on Twitter. You can email us. You can get a hold of us if you would like to. And you, after you listen to this episode, go ahead and just re-listen to a couple of our past ones. And
make sure you didn't miss any,
Yeah, just go back through. Maybe listen to the first one because there were so many problems
maybe not
in
that
this one. Maybe go back and listen to the first one and just
Okay,
realize
that's
how
fair.
far we have come.
That's fair.
And
Well, then they won't think we've come far at all.
All right. Thank you, Bailey. Goodbye.
You're welcome.
Thank you again to everybody. I'm Laura.
I'm Molly.
I'm Bailey.
And this has been Our 3 Cents. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Molly, we have to go. I have to watch Game of Thrones. Bye. Love you. Bye.